Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this Tropical Storm Chantal update here. We are looking at now Tropical Storm here as we are working through the day here. Right now, currently winds 40 miles per hour, moving to the north, just slightly, barely moving. Central pressure is about 1007 millibars, so 1007 millibars. So not a very strong storm, but it is increasing in strength slightly, and we do anticipate to see that 50-mile-an-hour wind here, especially at landfall. Wind speeds 50 miles per hour at landfall, max gust 65. Still moving north at landfall, eventually making that northeast turn and up into North Carolina eventually. So overall, not going to be a crazy impactful storm, but we will see a lot of rain here over the next 24 hours or so, maybe even a little bit more. Expecting landfall late tonight, early tomorrow morning. But let's not get too focused on where this storm makes landfall. Where's the center going to be going? Let's not focus on that. And I'll tell you why here. Because if you look over here on the right hand side of my screen, you see where the center is. Or you can even look here in the center here. I can even draw it out right here. If you look right here is the center of the storm. All of the convection is all way out here. Okay, so which means we lack what's called vertical stacking. Okay, so no vertical stacking means that this is a very lopsided storm. So the actual center of circulation is not anywhere close to the actual convection. So no matter where that center makes landfall, it doesn't really matter because anywhere north and east of that is where we're going to be seeing the most impacts as far as rain goes, which is what we're really worried about. No damaging gusts are expected, nothing damaging from this as far as wind goes, but the rainfall is something that we're watching very closely. We could see anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain isolated in some areas, most areas about 2 inches, maybe 2 to 3 inches. But we definitely want to watch that. We are under a flood watch here in Horry County as well. So we want to just watch out for the flooding as much as possible. If you're heading to the coast and you're going to the beach, we are under a double red flag, means no swimming. You want to walk in the water up to your ankles, that's fine. But if you get in that water, the lifeguards are going to be ripping you right out of that water pretty quick here. So no swimming today. I wouldn't advise it. Rip currents are very dangerous waves out there right now. The ocean is not very happy with a storm coming. So very dangerous. I hear that just a little bit ago I saw that they're searching for another missing swimmer in Myrtle Beach here. So stay out of the water. It's very dangerous. Heed those warnings by the lifeguards. The double red flag means do not swim. So let's be smart and not get in the water and swim. Okay. So overall, not a super powerful storm by any means. We will be out doing live coverage as we get closer to the landfall portion of the storm. Just getting some in the field images for you guys to see what's going on, and we'll be streaming that live here on our Facebook and YouTube. So if you don't subscribe to our YouTube page, get over there to our YouTube channel at Myrtle Beach Aware and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell icon too so you receive notifications when we do go live. And hopefully I'll have a little guest on there as well, another storm chaser from North Carolina. So I'm hoping that, fingers crossed, he'll be out chasing as well. And want to get in on the stream so I can share his stuff as well. You know, this is all a team effort. We're going to be working together on this to provide you guys with the best coverage on the Grand Strand. So we want to make sure that we have as many people as possible. Looking at the radar right now, we can turn off this storm track here real quick, just so we can take a little bit deeper dive into what's going on with radar here as we are moving through the afternoon. You can see some scattered showers and storms are making their way through the Carolina Forest area, Myrtle Beach there on the coast, and further parts up north here and to the west, Lakeview, Fairmont, Chadburn, all those areas. You can see, if we skip over here to the local radar, and get that out, we can see that flood watch that is in effect here that covers all the way down to Garden City Beach and all the way up to Wilmington, out to Boardman, Clarkton, Chadburn, all those areas, Lake Waccamaw, all included in that flood watch here, and that runs through Monday. So we want to be mindful that we're going to be seeing some rain here. Like I said, just because the storm may make landfall here does not mean that we're not going to be seeing the major effects up to the north and east out here over the ocean as well. So there's a lot that's going to be happening here over the next 24-48 hours. And as you can see, we do have that tropical storm warning in effect, and that extends into coastal portions of Horry County, even coastal areas of Georgetown County as well. And that tropical storm watch in effect down here for parts of Charleston out into Ladson in those areas. So not some major crazy storm here like we are used to seeing as far as when tropical storms hit and hurricanes and things, but definitely want to heed the warnings. We want to stay out of the ocean. That is the big thing right now. Want to stay out of the ocean. Do not be going in there and swimming and getting yourself in danger here. And we're going to take a look here at some models and see what this is going to look like over the next 24 to 48 hours based on the models. But like I said, right now, some moderate to heavy rain moving through towards the Kings Tree area. That is, we'll set that in motion here so you guys can see what that radar is looking like here. And we will have the live radar stream back up here on Facebook again here after this broadcast, so we'll be bringing that back on for you guys as well, so you can just check in often and see the what the radar is doing. So let's check over here, and we'll pull up some models here, and if I can get them up. So let's check it out and see what the models are looking like here for this storm as we move through the next 48 hours or so. So we're going to start with the global GFS here. As you can see, the center of Tropical Storm Carolina eventually by Sunday morning making its way inland, and by it's probably about 1 to 2 we're going to be looking at that landfall, most likely, according to the GFS here. And we'll hone in a little bit closer on that here in a second. Let's check out what the European is showing us here. Pretty close time frames here with the Euro as well, getting pretty close to landfall there. This brings it in just a little bit later, more towards that 7-8 o'clock in the morning for that center to come over. But like I said, let's not focus too much on where the center of this storm is going, because all of that convection is all up away from the center of circulation here, where that center of that low pressure is. It is all up to the north and east of that center. So the primary effects are going to be here in Myrtle Beach and extending up into North Carolina, where Wilmington, those areas could see a little bit heavier rainfall as well. So that's what's stemming that flood watch in place here. That's why the National Weather Service went ahead and put that in place, and that extends, like I said, through Monday. So we're going to pay close attention to that. Now let's hone in just a little bit closer here, and we'll take this back. So looking at pressures here, so this is a very weak storm. 1006 does drop down slightly to 1005, and then kind of as it starts making landfall, really starts to lose some more of that momentum. But look at this convection, everybody. Look at this. Very heavy rains moving in very late this evening and into the early morning hours here for the Grand Strand. So this is where we're looking at those heavy rains and the possibility of some stronger gusty winds, nothing damaging, 40, 50 mile an hour max, maybe a 60 mile an hour gust, depending on where you're at. Probably any of these gusts are going to occur right along the coast, maybe a tiny bit inland, which is why they extended that tropical storm warning here for the coastal Horry County, because you could see gusts out to Conway, things like that. So definitely want to pay attention to that. But check out the next model. Let me drag this back. We'll go to the HMON here, see what that's showing us. This is same thing, basically. All these models are really starting to agree. The difference here is the convection, a little bit heavier and more modest on the convection here as it starts working in. That's very heavy rain, and time frame late tonight, early tomorrow morning for landfall here, just around between Georgetown and Charleston, it looks like. Definitely, but like I said, let's not focus too much on where that center actually makes landfall, because all of that convection is going to be up to the north and the east of this storm. So uh, all models are really starting to kind of hone in together here, pretty close. This actually brings in a little bit more powerful. That looks like 1003, but as soon as it makes landfall. But again, convection is pretty modest here for the Grand Strand. So like I said, we'll look at rainfall totals here in a few minutes. But we'll bring in the GFS up close here. Yeah, same thing. We're looking, all that convection up to the north here. So overall, looking between anywhere between midnight and 8 a.m. for that landfall down near the Georgetown area. And we'll be out live covering a lot of that. So if you're awake and you're nervous and you want to know what's going on, you can tune into the live stream, as we will be live throughout that time here. So let's see. I want to bring up go back here to the global. We'll pull up the euro for rainfall totals here. Actually, we'll bring this out to Monday. So we're looking anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of rain essentially here along the coast, which is what is stemming that flash flood watch, the flood watch here that we have in place right now. Let's go over here and into our models here on our radar, and we'll just do a little bit of investigating here on exactly what we're looking at as far as rainfall totals here, because I can bring up the NDF here. We'll run that out through Monday, and that's looking up towards Sunset Beach, those areas, 4 inches. Could see up to 5 inches a little bit further out towards Marion Mullins, and Carolina Forest here looking for 4.5 inches of rain. A little bit closer to the coast here. Pull that up here. Like 2 inches here. Georgetown, 2.4 inches. So pretty much here to the north up by Charlotte, 3.7 inches expected. So like I said, anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe some 5 or 6 in some isolated areas of total rainfall. But 4, maybe some total that you can see here on this map exactly where a lot of those heavier rainfall totals are going to be. And it's going to be a pretty isolated little area stretching from Wilmington all the way down to Garden City. So that's where that pretty much traces out our flood watch area here. So you can see these higher rainfall totals are the reason for that flood watch as we move through the next 72 hours here. And so we'll go back here to single site radar. We'll check the radar one more time. We do have a little bit of moderate rain here falling over the South Myrtle Beach, Santee area, and parts inland here, Kingstree, Stuckey, the Hemingway just got some showers there. So that's all moving to, I know the cells say they're moving that way, but if we look at radar motion here, it's kind of to the southwest, most likely. Yep, southwest motion there. So a little bit of showers up here over Boardman and Nichols, Lakeview. Those areas are seeing some pretty heavy rainfall. And as far as new bands coming in, we do have a little bit of convection here starting to work a little bit east here. We do have these little single showers working their way through as well. Out here off the coast. So we do have some new convection going to be working its way towards the area here over the next couple hours. So a little bit of a break here if you're heading to the beach, but you're going to see some of this stuff just kind of pop up as it goes. See this right in here, you got these popping up. And that's going to be the case throughout the afternoon. And as we get into the evening hours, we're going to start seeing some of the heavier rainfall start working in overnight. So the good thing is a lot of this is going to occur overnight. So, you know, we can get some rest, and then hopefully by tomorrow afternoon, you'll be able to enjoy the beach a little bit more if you're here on vacation for the holiday weekend. So this is going to be in and out of here, hopefully pretty quick here, but what we're waiting on is this storm to kind of get a little bit of motion to it. We do anticipate to see that motion here start to occur as we get into the evening and overnight hours. We're going to start seeing this storm kind of pick up its motion here, maybe pick up a little bit of intensity, but that wind shear that we had yesterday has diminished, so we are expecting this to increase in strength just slightly here by the time we get to landfall, which we're looking 50 to 65 mile an hour winds, max gust 65 miles per hour. So overall, not something that we're not used to seeing, you know. So this is not a major storm for us, which is good. We don't really need it, but definitely marking history here for Myrtle Beach here for the first storm of the season for the East Coast. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on this. If you have any questions, you can reach us via Messenger. We'll definitely answer any questions. We will be posting updates here regularly throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours before we go live late tonight. We'll probably start in the Myrtle Beach area, working between Georgetown and Myrtle Beach for coverage this evening. So we're still honing out exactly where we want to be to provide you guys with really good coverage. So we're going to be watching the flooding risk, and as well as, you know, winds coming in off the coast. We want to be as close to the coast as possible this evening to see if we can monitor the wind gusts and things like that. So we're going to be with you throughout this whole thing. The live radar stream will be back up probably about 10-15 minutes. So tune in often to check that out. That will be Facebook and YouTube. So I'm going to put that live on both streaming sources there. So you guys will have that, and no matter where you're at and what app you're on. So anyway, that's